Hi, it's KuyaMike and welcome to another video where I read one of your emails and give my opinion on the matter. As always, these emails are kept anonymous, so please feel free to send any questions, confessions, or any stories you just want to get off of your chest to the email in the description below. Before we begin, I'd like to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already, and please do click on the notification bell so that you are kept up to date whenever I release a new video, as well as liking and sharing this video to help this channel grow. I'd also like to invite you to comment your thoughts on today's email, just so we can help out others that might be in a similar situation. Plus, it's always good to hear from more than one point of view. I'd also like to plug in my Twitch channel. If you're into gaming, feel free to just tune in and hang out while I play games live and stream. And if you're working from home, feel free to have me in the background, cast on your TV, or just on a second monitor or something. Just playing in the background so it feels like you're not at home alone. Get some of that ASMR action. It'll be like we're hanging out, except we won't be unless you engage in the chat. So without further ado, let's begin. So title of this email, Web Problems. Dear KuyaMike, I usually turn to my aunt for advice, but I don't think she'd understand this modern problem. It's hard to even think of this as a real problem. It's just a tranny ignoring me online. But I guess it's best to give you some context. I'm the sort of guy that takes helping people very seriously and personally. I live in a big city, but generally try to help my local community first and foremost. I'm friendly and well liked in my neighborhood. I feel that I have something to offer in most situations. I'm a smart guy. I did really well in high school, excelled in science, and even followed that passion into college. But I'm not just a nerdy science guy either. I have an arty side, which led to my career as a photographer. My family and friends, and even some of my not friends, would agree that I'm witty and funny too. Lately, I've been trying to find new ways to help people outside of my neighborhood, and found that using the web is a great way to help. Recently, I was trying to help this tranny, and I need to stress that I have no problem with their sexuality, and that their issue has nothing to do with his or her gender orientation. It's just how I identify this particular person. Anyway, they've been ignoring me and I keep getting stuck on that. I know that I shouldn't let it bug me, but it does. I know that my aunt would tell me that I have a hard time letting go of things ever since my uncle passed, but I can't help but feel that there is more to this. It's like this person is going out of their way to ignore me, almost as if they want to be my arch nemesis or something. It wouldn't be the first time that something like this has happened. In real life, I've had a few instances where myself and people close to me have ended up being quite oppositional. I also feel that in this instance, the anonymity of the web is lending this person a false sense of power, which is another thing that I take umbrage with. Power and responsibility go hand in hand. I'm paraphrasing, but that is something that my uncle used to tell me when I was growing up. Anyway, I don't know whether to keep on trying to help or just let it go and not get tangled up in web stuff. I hope you can give some advice. Thank you in advance, Mr. P. I think you already know the answer to this, but you're just looking for validation. This sounds like a lost cause. Not everyone asking for help actually wants help. I mean, you sound like a nice, cool, friendly neighborhood kind of guy, but it's not really your responsibility to help, even if you have the capacity to do so. There are just some people that don't want to be helped, so don't beat yourself up over it. Consider yourself the hero we need but don't deserve. That's the quick answer to that question. But I'd like to take the opportunity to bring up the idea of an askhole. If you haven't heard of it, it's pretty much a play on words of asshole, so replacing ass with ask, hence askhole. Basically, assholes are people that ask a ton of questions but don't actually care much for the answer. They just ask and ask and ask and don't really listen to any advice or opinions that you give. I can't lie, I can't say that I've never been an asshole, and I'm sure everyone can relate to this, where we've had times when we've been asking people questions, and if we don't like the answer that we get, we go to someone else and ask them until we get the answer that we want, you know, for validation. So I can't pretend that I've never been there. But there are some people that I feel like they're assholes for the sake of being assholes. I've encountered people before where they have this need to always question the answers. It's like they just have to do it, and I don't know what drives them, or if they're just doing it for the sake of doing it. I mean, I've never understood why. Perhaps it's a personality thing, I don't know. I'm not too sure. I mean, I like to help people because honestly, it makes me feel good about myself. Like, I'm not doing it for selfless reasons or anything like that. Hashtag Filipino Jesus. But I know when someone's wasting my time and just being an asshole. Usually, I just tend to give my 2 cents worth and just move on. So don't bother with assholes, because all you'll really be doing is wasting your time, getting frustrated, and becoming thirsty from the lack of saliva from answering all those questions. I probably sound like a terrible human being, but I'm not telling you to throw empathy out the window. All I'm trying to say is you don't have to help everyone. It's like Batman in Batman Begins when he's like, I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you. So let's take a lesson from Batman. You don't have to save everyone. That's my thoughts on it. I like to hear everyone's opinions. Do you have any advice for our friend? How do you feel about being an asshole? Have you been an asshole? And if you were an asshole, perhaps you can share a brief story behind it so we understand the context of you being an asshole. Because it'd be quite interesting actually to see what kind of situations manifest that asshole desire. Like when I think back, I've been an asshole like when I've been troubling with issues of the heart, or when I've been in uncomfortable situations where I just wanted to make it seem like I'm engaged, you know, but not to the extent where I'm just asking for the sake of it and then never actually acting on it. So that's that. As always, I appreciate everyone's support and would love to continue growing this channel. And if you enjoyed, please do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you're kept up to date whenever I upload new videos. And if you're into gaming, please do check out my Twitch channel.
Thanks for watching. I'm covering my mouth. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
And lastly, do send in your emails, and I hope to hear from you soon. Until the next video.